have a really fun topic today for those social butterflies out there, and we're gonna talk about alcohol. I'm Lindsey Love Jenks, the founder of Macrostax, and I'm gonna teach you how to calculate macros inside alcohol in order to fit your plan. All right, guys, this is not a debate on whether or not you should be drinking alcohol or not. As long as you are responsible and over the age of 21, that is totally up to you. So it's strictly just how do you calculate macros inside alcohol? Because sometimes the label is misleading. All right, let's go ahead and start with wine. So what you need to do first is figure out how many calories is in the portion that you're going to be drinking. So for instance, if you're going to be drinking a glass of wine, you can either use, if you're at home, a measuring cup. If you're out at a bar, then you will generally know if it's a 3, 4, 5, 6 ounce pour. Or you can use your handy dandy scale, and you can actually set this on here and then go ahead and pour out. We are gonna do 5 ounces, fluid ounces. All right, now that we have 5 ounces of wine here, and we know that there's 130 calories in this, we are going to teach you how to calculate this as a carb. So what you need to do is take the total calories in the cocktail or drink that you have and then divide that by 4, and that will give you the amount of carbs that you need to account for. So if you take 130, divide it by 4, that will give you 33 grams of carbs that you need to account for. That's gonna look a little bit different than the nutrition label online. And the reason being is they're not accounting for the actual alcohol content in the cocktail that you're drinking. In this instance, it may only say 17 grams of carbs, but that's not really the case because there's a lot more calories in it that need to be accounted for. So that's why you can calculate it as a carb, fat, or both. So that is how you calculate it as a carb. If you want to count it as a fat, then you need to divide by 9. And reason being is there's 4 calories for every gram of carb, and there's 9 calories for every gram of fat. So that's why we choose the numbers 4 and 9. So if you take 130 and you divide it by 9, that will be roughly 14, and that would be how many grams of fat that you would need to account for in order to drink this 5 ounces of delicious Zinfandel wine. All right, hopefully you guys have bared with me this long, and I'm gonna quickly go through beer, whiskey, and a mixed cocktail, and on the menu today is a mimosa, a crowd favorite. So if you guys are beer drinkers, we have Colorado Native. All you have to do is look up the amount of calories in this, and let's say we're gonna count it as a carb. So there's 160 calories in there, divide that by 4, that gives you 40. So you know that you have to account for 40 carbs in order to drink this beer. I know we have some whiskey drinkers out there, so we're gonna calculate this as a fat. So you can use your scale or a shot glass for convenience. Most shot glasses are roughly 1.5 ounces. So go ahead and fill that baby up, and then all you're gonna do is take 1.5 ounces and figure out how many calories is in that. So I just Googled it, and it's roughly 107. So if you divide that by 9, you'll get roughly 12 grams of fat, and that's how many you need to account for to enjoy this lovely glass of whiskey. All right, the last tip I'm gonna give you is how to calculate a mixed cocktail. So we are doing a mimosa today, composed of 2 ounces of orange juice and 2 ounces of champagne. So we have that in here already, measured out. And in order to find out how many carbs we need to account for in the champagne, we know we need to Google how many calories are in there. So calories in 2 ounces of champagne. So divide that by 4, and you're gonna get 5 grams of carbs. Then you can look on the back, the label, to figure out how many carbs are in your orange juice. So in 2 ounces of orange juice, there's 6 carbs. Now remember, since this isn't alcohol, we don't need to do any other sort of calculation. So you just add 6 plus 5, and that equals 11, and that's how many carbs you need to account for in order to enjoy your mimosa. Hopefully you guys found that informative, and if you have any questions at all, please comment below and we will answer every single question. Remember that you can click here to see our latest video and click here to subscribe to our channel, and cheers. Pop this. Ah!